Master Kai-Ren shouted loudly in the middle of the rough dojo. His voice was sharp, like a knife. It cut through the warm, smoky air. Everyone in the dojo looked up. His words were like a big boom. The students stopped what they were doing. Some froze in place. Jason Statham stood calmly. He wore a black cap pulled low over his eyes and a loose white t-shirt. His hands were in his pockets. He wasn't angry, not yet. But his eyes sparkled a little. He was ready. Ran, the Wing Chun master, smiled in a mean way. He knew who Jason was. He had trained with him a long time ago. Back then, Jason had been faster, stronger, and better. That memory still hurt Ran inside. Now he had a chance. A chance to crush the person who used to beat him. In front of everyone. The dojo was an old place. The floors were covered with sweaty, stained mats. The wooden beams above were chipped. Clouds of incense floated in the air, making everything smell strong. But it was also respected. People came here to train hard. But today, the dojo felt different. The air buzzed like something bad was about to happen. Something big. Ran stepped forward with his sneaky grin still on. He said loudly, "Show us if you're still worth anything." He laughed like a villain in a movie. He wanted Jason to fight him. Right here. Right now. The students gasped. Some whispered. Others cheered. "That Cap guy's a loser," yelled one skinny teen. "Sifu, teach this nobody," another shouted. Their words were like fire. Mean and hot. They didn't know who Jason really was. They thought he was just some guy in a t-shirt. Jason stayed cool. His hands were still by his sides. But inside, he felt a spark of pain. Not from fear, but from the words. From the way they talked to him like he didn't matter. But he didn't show it. He looked quickly at his phone. Just for a second. Then he gave a small nod. No one saw it. It was a secret signal. His plan was already working. Outside the dojo, the media was waiting. Cameras ready. Reporters ready. Jason had sent a message earlier. If things went bad inside, they would know. Back inside, the crowd kept shouting at him. But Jason didn't move. His black cap stayed low. His eyes stayed sharp. Suddenly, the old mats on the floor made a loud creak. It was like the dojo itself was warning them. Like the building knew something big was coming. The students went silent for a second. Then louder than before. The fight was coming. Let's rewind just a little. Jason Statham came to this old dojo for a visit. He wasn't here to fight. He came to support someone, his friend's son. The kid trained here and loved martial arts just like Jason. Jason had promised to come cheer him on. He didn't know that the master of this dojo was Master Kai-Ren, his old classmate from many years ago. Back in their training days, Jason was always better. He won every match. Ren was always second best. That made Ren jealous. Ren never let go of that feeling. And now, he has changed his name and opened his own dojo in this tough city. The dojo looked cool on the outside. But something bad was hiding underneath. Ren was lying to everyone. He told people he was a great master. But he faked it. He made up stories. He even printed a fake certificate and hung it on the wall to look real. He also charged kids too much money. Then he told them to bring in more students. If they didn't, he said they owed him money. It was like a sneaky trick. Jason had a feeling something was off. He noticed a skinny student standing nearby. The boy looked scared. Jason leaned over and asked softly, "You okay, kid?" The boy nodded, then whispered, "I owe few thousands. I couldn't bring in any new kids." Jason's eyes narrowed. That was it. That was the sign. Something really bad was going on here. But Jason didn't say anything out loud. He kept his cool. He didn't want Ren to know yet. The students around the dojo still thought Sifu Ren was a real master. They believed in him. They didn't know the truth. "Why is that guy in the t-shirt here?" a girl muttered. "Looks like nobody," said another. Their words were mean. But Jason didn't care. He stayed sharp. He could feel something dark in the air, like a storm coming. He sent a quick text to the media. Then waited. Back to now. The dojo was loud. Everyone was watching. Ren grinned and stepped closer to Jason. "Still strutting like you own our old dojo?" he said, loud enough for the crowd to hear. He was making fun of Jason's old black cap and plain white shirt. The students cheered again. "Sifu's the best," yelled one boy. "Beat that t-shirt guy," screamed another. They didn't see what Jason saw. Ren's moves were sloppy. His form was fake. Jason's voice was low but strong. "Bring it on," he said. Ren jumped into a flashy kick, but it looked fake. It didn't hit anything. The fight had begun. The crowd chanted, "Selfie! Kai!" They thought he was winning. But his punches missed. His moves were slow. Jason blocked them easily, like it was nothing. In the middle of the fight, Ren leaned close and hissed, "Think you're still the golden boy?" Jason now recognized him for sure. "You're just hot air, Ren," Jason said calmly. His words were cool and sharp, like a movie hero. The fight got faster. Jason's moves were clean, fast, and powerful. Ren's were messy and wild. The crowd still didn't notice. They kept cheering for the wrong person. The scared student watched from the corner. Jason saw him again. His worried face told Jason everything he needed to know. The scam was real. And it was deep. Outside, the media waited. They would soon know the truth. Inside, the fight burned hotter. The air shook. The walls echoed every punch. "Still think you can beat me, old champ?" Ren shouted. He was desperate now. He remembered all those times Jason had won. Jason replied cool and clear, "You never mastered a thing." His voice cut through the incense-filled air like lightning. The students went wild. "Sifu's the champ," a big teen yelled. "Wipe out that t-shirt guy," another screamed. They still didn't see the truth. Ren's punches were weak. His kicks didn't land. Jason moved like water, smooth and fast. He dodged every move with ease. He was a real martial artist. And now, the truth was about to come out. Jason looked at the scared student again. He remembered the whisper. "I owe thousands." He remembered the fake certificate, the bad lessons, the tricks. The crowd still chanted. But the time for truth was now. Jason was about to strike. Not just with a punch, but with the truth. The dojo was like a volcano, ready to blow. And Jason Statham was the spark. Echoing from earlier now. A boy in the crowd looked scared. His fists were tight, and his eyes moved fast. He knew something was wrong. The scam was big, and the dojo shook with anger. Ren's weak punches couldn't beat Statham's fast moves. The crowd cheered, but the rules didn't matter anymore. Their master, Ren, looked like he was falling apart. Statham blocked every strike like a wall. His black hat stayed on straight. He gave a small smile, thinking about the cameras waiting outside. They were ready to show the truth. Ren tried again. He shouted, "You'll fall like before." But Statham shouted back, "Keep dreaming, Ren." Their words hit each other like a movie battle. It felt like the whole dojo was about to explode. Their fight was like fire. Every move was strong and fast. Statham was like a bright light in the dark dojo. The beams in the roof were old and smoky. The crowd watched closely. They cheered loudly, but some students were scared. They knew something was wrong. Statham was angry. Ren's fake fighting was making him mad. Statham got ready to hit back hard. His white t-shirt looked like a flag of truth. The dojo beat like a heart. Statham had a secret. He had called the news people. They were coming to show the world the truth. The crowd couldn't stop the truth now. Ren's fake tricks were falling apart. Statham's next move would end it. Everyone was watching. They wanted to see the big finish. They wanted to know the truth. The dojo roared like a volcano. Statham's fists were like falling stars. He hit fast with strong Wing Chun moves. His voice boomed like thunder. "Your fake reign is over, Ren." His black cap didn't move. His white shirt stretched as he hit. Ren fell to the mat. His smile was gone. The air smelled like incense. Everyone was shocked. A girl gasped, "He's crushing Kai." A boy said, "No way." The crowd finally saw the truth. Ren was a liar. They had trusted him for nothing. Statham stood up tall. His eyes were full of fire. He looked at the door. Then the cameras rushed in. Lights and mics filled the room. The news was here. Statham had planned this. Ren tried to talk. "You're making this up, Statham." But his voice was shaky. He looked scared. Then a student stood up. He had been scared before, but now he was brave. He shouted, "He's stealing our money. He makes us pay too much and forces us to bring in more students." Everyone stopped. Then they shouted, "Ren's a cheat. He's a liar." They were no longer fooled. The dojo beat like a heart. Statham's plan was working. The cameras caught everything. Ren looked weak and afraid. His hands shook. His scam was now clear to everyone. More students got brave. One girl held papers from Ren's desk. "They're fake," she said. "We paid for nothing," another yelled. The crowd was angry. They weren't cheering for Ren anymore. They had been tricked. Statham walked forward. His cap didn't move. His voice was strong. Live true, not like this fake master. The media listened. Their cameras pointed at Ren. The dojo shook again. Everyone now respected Statham. His plan had worked. Ren's lies were on fire. The students shouted the truth. The lights buzzed above. Ren tried to talk again. "I trained you," he said. But he sounded weak and scared. The students didn't listen. They held up the fake contracts. They were proof of the scam. Their voices were loud. They were angry and hurt. Statham stood tall. His shirt was a sign of his bravery. The media loved the story. Ren's hands shook. His lies were gone. The students shouted the truth. The cameras recorded it all. The dojo felt full of fire. The fake master had been stopped. Every punch from Statham was like a hammer breaking lies. Ren's world broke into little pieces. He couldn't hide anymore. Statham stood like a hero. His voice was strong and clear. "He fakes his title and takes your money." He told the truth. Ren lied about his rank, took big fees, and made students recruit more for cash. The media went wild. The mics were everywhere. The students listened. They were shocked. They looked at Statham with big eyes. He was the real deal. Ren slumped on the floor. He tried again. "I trained you." But his voice was weak. He sounded like he was begging. The students didn't believe him. They shouted, "He tricked us." One girl waved the fake papers. Another yelled, "We paid for nothing." Their words were loud and true. No more cheering for Ren. No more hate for Statham. The students trusted him now. Statham stepped up again. His cap is low. His voice like a hammer. Live with honor. Don't be like this fake. The news cameras loved it. Ren looked small and scared. The dojo shook. Everyone respects Statham now. His plan worked. He showed the truth. Ren's lies were gone. The students shouted the truth. Again and again. The lights buzzed. The air was full of heat. The scam was over. Ren's tricks had burned up. The students waved the contracts like flags. Statham stood tall. His t-shirt showed who he really was. Brave and honest. The news people showed the world. Statham's plan was perfect. The dojo changed. The truth had won. And everyone was watching. Waiting for the final move. That would end the lies for good. As he stood tall, his black cap tilted and white t-shirt shining under the bright neon lights, he said loudly, "Honor makes you strong. Always tell the truth." He was sharing his Wing Chun wisdom, offering a new path to someone named Kai Yang. His words were full of fire, lighting up the old training mats and smoky air. The cameras kept recording, showing every moment. But now, they weren't just showing lies, they were showing hope. Statham stood like a light in the old, broken dojo, guiding the people past all the lies and tricks Ren had made. Ren's students, feeling sad and sorry, looked around. One girl cried, "We trusted a fake." A boy added, "Kai lied to all of us." Their words were full of truth and hurt. They weren't cheering like before, and they weren't making fun of Statham's t-shirt anymore. The whole crowd changed. They now respected Statham so much. They got angry about Ren's fake lessons and money tricks. The dojo felt like it was shaking with their feelings. Hope came in like a strong wind, blowing away the dark lies. Ren sat against a cracked wall. He lifted his head and whispered, "I lost my way. Please give me another chance." This time, he didn't sound proud or sneaky. He sounded real. Even the students nodded, promising out loud, "We'll train with real masters." "No more lies," another teen shouted. Their promises were full of fire. They wanted to bring back the dojo's honor. Statham had told the truth, and now the dojo felt brand new. Ren's lies broke apart like ashes, while Statham's message echoed through the room. His black cap and white t-shirt now meant something special. They were symbols of bravery. The crowd didn't cheer blindly anymore. They cheered for truth and real learning. Their voices were full of new energy, cutting through the incense smoke. Ren's pride was gone. Statham's journey from a stranger to a hero was shining like a bright fire. Everyone listened closely, their hearts beating fast. The dojo felt alive. Statham smiled, his black cap low and white t-shirt glowing. He made a small joke. Funny how putting on a cap and t-shirt for a class could cause this much chaos. Talking about the time he secretly joined a dojo and got caught. The students laughed, and the air felt lighter. They leaned in, excited. Ren's scam was already fading away. Statham's charm pulled them in like a star. A young fighter asked, "How did you get so good at Wing Chun?" Another added, "Can you teach us real moves?" They weren't just curious, they were ready to learn the truth. No more fake belts or silly prizes. They were hungry to learn for real. Their voices were strong, full of energy, all looking up to Statham. One teen stepped forward and said with shining eyes, "You're our dojo's true spark." It was a big, powerful feeling. Way stronger than before when they were just saying sorry or shouting about lies. The crowd cheered again. But now their cheers were like a brand new song. Statham was now their hero. Not a pretend one, but a real, honest hero. The dojo's heart was back. Every student nodded, each one promising to follow truth, not lies. Statham's smile and brave words lit the mats like fireworks. The dojo felt like a new day. Ren's tricks and old games were completely gone. The story was on fire. Everyone was watching, hearts beating fast, waiting for Statham's final moment. The dojo sparkled like the morning sun. Statham stood proud, his black cap tilted, his white t-shirt glowing under the lights. He shouted loud and clear, "Real skills are better than lies. Stay humble." His voice was like a bright torch. The lesson was clear. Ren's tricks couldn't win. Being honest and strong was what really mattered. Everyone leaned in, listening closely. The mats were now the stage for something special. Statham's truth was burning away the lies. He looked at the students and said, "Fight for truth with every move you make." His words were like a rocket, lifting them up and helping them believe in real Wing Chun. A girl shouted, "Will you be our real master?" Another student promised, "No more fake teachers." Their voices were loud and true, not like before when they were just saying sorry or shouting fake praises. The dojo was filled with new energy. Statham tipped his cap and nodded. His smile was strong and real. "Got to move on," he said. He walked away like a hero. His t-shirt and cap now stood for truth and strength. "No injuries, just victory," someone said. The students cheered again, but not for the old Kai the champ or Ren the cheat. They were cheering for the truth. They promised to carry his message. The neon lights in the dojo glowed with hope. Ren's lies were gone, fading like smoke. The storyteller's voice rose up. Statham stood tall, changing the dojo and inspiring fighters everywhere. The story burned with energy. Everyone was watching, hearts full, waiting for his words to reach the world. The dojo stood proud again. The smoke in the air was now filled with hope. Statham's exit was the final spark that ended the story perfectly. And the people were ready to carry on his legacy. If you liked this story, tell me in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more fun adventures and mysteries. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.